Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Tri-Brigade deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because this deck is an extremely consistent deck that can summon out one of the coolest boss monsters in the entire game, Shirog. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in a single video, getting a signed card in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Froctal. This card is definitely a 3-of in the build and one of the best cards in the entire deck, as this card is a Foolish Burial. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to be able to send a level 3 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is an awesome effect to be able to use to be able to send a copy of Kit to the graveyard, then Nirval, and then get your copy of Karas to your hand, which is basically full combo for this deck. And all of your main deck Tri-Brigade monsters actually share an awesome common effect that you can banish any number of Beast, Beast Warrior, and or Winged Beast monsters in your graveyard to be able to special summon a Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast Link monster from your X deck with a Link rating equal to the number of cards that you banished, and also you can only use Beast, Beast Warrior, and or Winged Beast monsters as Link material for the rest of the turn, which is an awesome effect to be able to use. So for example, if we banish a total of 4 monsters from our graveyard for that effect, we can summon out a copy of Shirog directly from our extra deck. We then play 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Kit. Kit is a definite 3-of in the build because this card has the ability that you can actually, if this card is sent to the graveyard, send another Tri-Brigade card from your deck to the graveyard, which is a great effect to be able to do so you can get your copy of Nirval into the graveyard. We then play 3 copies of Nirval. Nirval is definitely a 3-of as well in the deck, because this card has the ability, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can actually add a Tri-Brigade monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of Nirval, which is a great effect to instantly get to your copy of Karas. We then play 2 copies of Karas. Karas is definitely a 2-of in the build because this card is a great extender in the deck, because this card actually has the ability that you can discard one other Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster to special summon this card from your hand, which is a great effect to instantly get this card out on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Rescue Cat. Rescue Cat is an amazing 3-of in the build that has a really cool ability that you can send this card to the graveyard to special summon 2 level 3 or lower beast monsters from your deck, but their effects are negated, which is a great effect to instantly get cards out on our side of the field like Kit or Karas to our side of the field, so we can basically go in for some Link plays. This card is an amazing 3-of in the build and an awesome normal summon in this deck. We then also play a single copy of the Fabled Cerberus. This card is really good as a 1-of in the deck. It's basically just discard to the graveyard off your copy of Karas so it can bring itself back to your side of the field. Plus this card's a tuner, so you can use this card for some synchro plays, which is amazing. We then play a single copy of DD Crow. DD Crow is really good as a 1-of in the build because this card is actually searchable in the deck, which is amazing to play this card in the build, as this card helps you get rid of a card out of the graveyard. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is an amazing 3-of. It's stopping your opponent from touching the deck. We also play 3 copies of Effect Veiler just to stop your opponent's monster effects, which is really cool to be able to do in this deck. We also play 2 copies of Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre is great in the build to basically just pop cards on the field. And then we play a single copy of Nibiru. Nibiru is really important for the build, as we're also playing Crossout Designator when we get to the spells. So this card is really good to be able to stop a Nibiru that's going to be dropped against you. So it's a great, basically, Crossout Designator target. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Call of the Grave is definitely a 1-of in the build to basically just stop your opponent's hand traps while you're going in for all of your plays. We also play 3 copies of Crossout Designator. Crossout Designator is definitely a 3-of in the build as well, so we have so much room for hand traps in this deck to basically just use this card to stop hand traps or trying to go full combo. We then play 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Roar. Tri-Brigade Roar is a very interesting card for this deck, because this card has the ability, if you control a Link monster, you can send a Tri-Brigade card from your deck or X deck to the graveyard, then target an effect monster on the field and apply the following effect based on the type of card sent to the grave for this effect. change that monster's attack to 0 until the end of the turn. If you send a monster, if you send a spell, you can negate that monster's effect until the end of this turn, but if you send a trap, you return that monster back to the hand, which is a great effect to basically use this card as an interruption. This card is really good as a 2-of in the deck, and I really like this card overall in the build. We then play 3 copies of Tenki. Tenki is great in this deck as a 3-of to basically just add your copy of Frogtall directly from your deck to your hand, so you can go full combo, plus it gives you an extra 100 attack points, which is really good for all your Beast Warrior type monsters you control, which is a pretty good effect for this card to have. Overall, this card is basically Rhoda for the deck. So, that's it for these spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Angel Statue Azarun. Azarun's really good as a 1-of in the build, so we can go into our copy of Still Hat Rabbit and then set this card out on our side of the field, which is great because it gives us a special summon negate, which is so cool to be able to do. And this card is just an amazing 1-of in the build because it does negate special summons. We then play 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Revolt. Revolt is amazing in this build. This card is basically soul charge for the deck. This card lets you special summon a number of Beast, Beast Warrior, and/or Winged Beast monsters that are banished or in your graveyard, but negate their effects. Then immediately this effect resolves, you link summon a Tri-Brigade Link monster using only those monsters, which is a great effect to help you step into a copy of Shirog during the opponent's turn so you can banish a card. This card is amazing as a 2-of in the build, but I feel like 2 copies is really all you need because it is searchable in the build. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is an amazing hand trap to be able to basically negate your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So, that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with our main boss monster, Shirog. This card is definitely a 3-of in the build and such an awesome boss monster. This card has the ability, if it's special summoned or if another Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster is special summoned to your field, you can banish a card on the field, which is a great effect to just basically not even target a card and just spot remove a card off the field. Also, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is less than or equal to the number of your basically Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters that you have that are banished, which is a really cool effect to instantly grab a card that you need, which is just such a cool effect to instantly grab your copy of DD Crow or any of your other cards you need, depending on how many cards you have. We then play a single copy of Rugal. Rugal is just really good in the deck overall to be able to play, just as an extender that you can make just in case you need to. Also, during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can special summon a level 4 lower Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monster from your hand, which is a pretty interesting effect, or your graveyard, but negate its effects and return it back to the hand during the end phase, just to get you an additional monster out on your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Bearbrum. Bearbrum is great in the deck as a 1-of to basically use in this deck, because this card actually searches out our copy of Tri-Brigade Revolt, so we can basically go full combo, because this card lets you discard 2 cards, target one of your banished level 4 lower Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters, special summon it to your side of the field, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Tri-Brigade spell or trap from your deck to your hand, then place a card from your hand on the bottom of the deck, which is a great effect to be able to use to instantly get to our copy of Revolt, so we can go full combo. We then play 2 copies of Frigid. Frigid is just an awesome combo piece in the deck, as this card has the ability that during the main phase, you can special summon a level 4 lower Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster from your hand, just giving you the ability to get an additional monster out on your side of the field, so you can link climb into other cards. This card also has a great effect, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can draw a card, then place a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck, so you can basically fix your hand. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code is just really good overall, because we play so many different attributes in this extract, and this card is just an awesome boss monster to help you basically banish multiple cards off the field and go in for game. We then play a single copy of SP. SP is amazing in this deck to basically just use as a double interruption, and it's a great card overall in the build. We then play a single copy of Still Hat Rabbit. Still Hat Rabbit's really cool in the deck to set your copy of Azarun to your side of the field, so you can basically use it as a special summon negate, and it's a great card to be able to use in this deck. We made a single copy of Double Dragon Lords. Double Dragon Lords is really good in this build as a 1-up, as this card is just such a powerful card in the deck to help you just bounce cards off the field. Plus, you can use your Tri-Brigade cards to step into this card because it is a Beast Warrior. We then play a single copy of Lightheart. Lightheart is just really good just in case you need to banish just one monster from the graveyard to summon out a Beast Warrior monster, which is why you play this card in the deck. You're only playing it for that reason. You're never actually making this card. You'll actually just banish a Tri-Brigade card or a Beast Warrior Winged Beast from the graveyard, and then summon this card off of one of your Tri-Brigade monster's effects because it is a Link 1 monster, just to basically get you an additional name, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Alamirage. Alamirage is great just in case you open a copy of Kit. You can normal summon it or Nirval. You can normal summon it out to your side of the field, link them away, and summon out a copy of Alamirage just in case you need to start your combo that way. We then play a single copy of Typhon. Typhon is great in this deck as a 1-up, as it's just in case you need it. If you're going second, you can make this card, and it's basically a bounce and a skill drain for 3,000 or higher attack point monsters. And then finally play a single copy of Herald of the Arclight. Arclight is great in this deck because this card is basically a walking negate, and it's really good to be able to play in this build. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Tri-Brigade before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's such a fun deck to be able to play, and it's an insane deck for the combos that you can pull off with this particular build because it's such a fun deck, and it's actually relatively budget to be able to pick up Tri-Brigade, which is really cool. So that's good for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of notifications. Go on, we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.